is just going over a brief synopsis of how floor nursing is parallel to OR nursing as far as patient safety. As we all know, a brief overview of what narrative pedagogy is applying clinical skills for prior areas to your area of specialty now. Okay, and how we would relate. And we'll just talk through the processes of how do you guys see the relationship between the two. Okay? All right, and this is just a brief overview of the OR. Okay, we have on scrubs, hats, and it is a sterile environment, but for the sake of time and video purposes, we will not have on masks because it will distort the sound. Okay, this is the OR furniture. It is an OR table. Okay, it is an OR table, which can be compared to the OR, to the, to a stretcher or to a patient's bed on the floor. Okay? Let me ask Lauren, what, as far as your clinical and prior clinical skills in your specialty area, how would you compare the two? How can you relate your past experience to the OR as far as patient transfer?
For patient transfer, I would want to make sure that both beds are equal and in a low position. I'd also want to make sure I use my assisting devices to move the patient, so the roller, and I would want to have the proper amount of staff to move the patient.
Okay. Now, do you see the relationship between the floor and the operating room as far as safe patient transfer?
Yes.
Yes, because the elements are the same. So, even though the OR is your specialty and it's new to you guys, just try to think back. Okay, what did you do on the floor as far as safe patient transfer? You can apply that as you're going through the single in your mind. Okay? Billy, what parallels and what similarities do you see?
Well, you're going to want to make sure the patient's safe no matter what. I know on the stretchers we have the side rails to make sure they're not going to roll off. On our OR tables, that's going to impede too much for the surgeons. We have our safety strap and we have the arm boards here to make sure they have a little bit more space. And also we're going to pad all bony prominences just to make sure that we're not going to need ulcers.
That's good. Prevention of pressure ulcers. Okay. Carrie, right off the bat, what problem do you see with the bed that
This
you
one
can
is
relate?
significantly higher than this one. So in order to transfer a patient from here to there,
We would have to make sure that
it's
it's
either raise this one or lower this one. So making sure when you transfer, just make there's just a slight so that gravity's on your side.
Okay.
With body mechanics also.
One important thing also is patient privacy. So we want to make sure during the transfer that our patients stay covered up. And we want to make sure we talk them through the process to make them feel comfortable, okay? And that they know what's going on, and they don't feel like they're going to fall, and things like that, okay? All right. Lauren, you want to be our patient? Okay. Two checks. Day is locked. Okay.
And I think you also want to make sure about their lines, any lines they have before you transfer them.
Exactly.
If you're coordinating also.
Elaine, you want to make sure that there's patient privacy?
Or any foldies.
Yes. Any drains, any Foley's, any lines, any packings, make sure all that is taken care of. Any O2, any oxygen, should you need it? Okay. All right. Okay, are we ready to move? Just think about the floor. Okay.
We have our side rails up. We're locked. Are we ready, Anita?
Now, as far as the OR table.
Is the OR table locked? Or
She's going into this lowest position. Okay. All right. And then we have the appropriate number of people. For the patient size and the comorbidity or morbidity. So she's pretty healthy. So the bed is just, they're still not even. So the bed is locked. And we're raising it to make sure it's at the appropriate height for safe patient transfer. Okay. And we're going have the appropriate number of people, patient safety side rolling up,
Patient privacy.
patient privacy, okay, and now we are about to do the safe transfer.
You can just give yourself a hug. We're going to move you over. It's going to be a little, you guys are going to be as gentle as possible. We keep you covered up. But a little bumpy right. We will not drop you.
On anesthesia's count,
1, 2, 3.
We're going to get that board up under you. Now that we've moved you over, you're on a very narrow bed. Can you take your hands and feel the sides of that bed? You century?
Yes.
okay.
And just keep watching this out.
I'm going to take these off across your lap just to make sure that you won't fall.
And the bed you just came off of is unlocked. Very still. Here's another arm break.
Okay. All right. So the elements and the objectives were obtained. Would you all say so?
Yes.
Okay. You want to give me a rundown on your experience and how this can relate, how you can use this in your clinical practice now, by taking information from your prior clinical setting and applying it to the OR for a patient safety transfer?
Just remember proper body mechanics, lower that, ensure your side rails are up, and you're not flying patient side, and just general patient safety, right?
General patient safety and privacy, making sure everything is universal. Just remember patient safety from the floors to the OR, as far as the bed being locked, patient privacy, and making sure you have proper body mechanics and the appropriate amount of people to safely transfer a patient. It can be the OR, it can be the PACUs, it can be anywhere. But this experience is parallel and universal, and narrative pedagogy is definitely a teaching strategy that can be used to implement this practice. Thank you. And I would like to thank you all for your